So local lawmakers and several nonprofits are also reacting to the Supreme Court's decisions. President and CEO of the nonprofit Global Refuge, Krish Omaran Vignaraja, is joining us now. Thank you for joining us, Krish. Appreciate you being with us. All right,
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Break this down for us. What does this stem from? First of all, it's basically saying that these judges don't have as much power as some of them have in the past had, and how does this impact birthright citizenship?
Yeah, important questions, because we need to note that the Supreme Court didn't decide whether ending birthright citizenship is constitutional or not. That question is still going to be fought out in the lower courts, and ultimately, I suspect, will return to the Supreme Court. What they did decide was more procedural, but no less impactful. Notably, the justices ruled that the lower courts can't block a policy like this one across the whole country. So in legalese, we call these nationwide injunctions. Now, that may sound technical, but the implication is massive. What it means is after a 30-day window, protections will only provide narrowly defined populations. So either the named plaintiffs or a group of people in a certain jurisdictional district if, for example, a lawsuit was brought by a state.
All right. On the issue of judges, I mean, it seems like a tussle back and forth between these two branches of the government. And earlier this week, the Trump administration sued all 15 federal judges in Maryland, all 15 of Maryland's federal judges, over blocking removal of immigrants. This all stems, I assume, from Abrego Garcia's case. So what is the significance of the judge's order protecting due process? Because that's how this antagonism began, I assume.
Yeah, this move is unprecedented. It did stem from a judicial ruling by Maryland's chief federal judge, who had ordered a very narrow 48-hour pause on deportations while someone files a habeas corpus, essentially a legal challenge to their detention. And so rather than appeal the order through the normal channels, the Justice Department decided to sue all 15 judges. That is virtually unheard of. And I think the move is deeply troubling because it is not just legally aggressive. It appears designed to intimidate the judiciary and sideline judicial oversight. And that's obviously problematic in a system where we have built-in checks and balances.
Very quickly, what happens in this lawsuit? What could be the outcome of a lawsuit like this?
So interestingly, the federal district judges, who normally would have considered a case initially, had to recuse themselves because they are obviously the subject of the lawsuit. So now the Fourth Circuit will review the case. It could ultimately go up to the Supreme Court, but it is certainly a very odd case to have been brought.